With us today, Mr. John Barty, Acting President, Vice President, and Chairman of the Constitution Committee. Mr. Barty, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Yeah, well, today there are a lot of um, information coming out of the referendum, and the reason why we have you today is to give us an update on the process. Where are we after this referendum with regard to the Constitution and the community? Can you give us an update, Mr. Barty?
Yeah, thank you very much. I first want to say thank you to the Liberian community who turned out to vote on Sunday, and that was brilliant. We enjoyed the people turn out, they voted for the Constitution. I have asked the election commission to send me a proposal, the process of which the next board election will be held. I have given them 2 weeks. They will get back to me, and then we'll get back to the community and tell them how the process will work. As you know, the Constitution has passed, so 1986 will soon be history right after the elections. So we are proceeding, according to the principle. What is just shocking in the process is an organization like the Minnesota Advocacy have injected themselves into local Liberian politics, local community action, local community development, have sued. Can you imagine? Minnesota Advocacy have become a problem for the Liberian people in the state of Minnesota, that they have sued, they have valued the interest of a single employee over the entire interest of the Liberian people, and they have sued the Liberian community, embarrassing and shameful. I'm disappointed, and I will be talking to the chairman of the board. I will do an official letter to the board of directors of the Minnesota Advocacy and explain the frustration of the behavior and actions of that organization.
Now, when you say sue by a single individual, what do you mean, sue by a single individual?
I mean, the Minnesota Advocacy have concocted a lawsuit against the OLN for a peaceful elections that were held at the Center for Family. It's shame that Minnesota Advocacy have gotten involved into local Liberian political understanding. Because what we did was, we did all that is required by the board and executive committee to have a referendum. People turned out and voted. And I told organizations that the advocacy that have an experience in dealing with it, who are saying since that the people voted. Those who disagree, we have options. You can vote yes or no. Overwhelmingly, so for the advocate to sue us, to put themselves into that is shameful, and they should be ashamed of themselves.
So the documents that you receive for the or the writ or whatever, the documents that show the suit, does it show that it was Minnesota Advocates?
Well, they have an employee of the Minnesota Advocacy who have concocted advocacy lawyer who have acted within the confines of the advocacy and begun to act. In fact, he boasts to people that in how much he work with Minnesota Advocacy, he get lawyers, he get days he's not going to spend. A single individual have used his influence because he worked there and draw them into a local issue, and they get allow themselves to be played like a football. And they should be ashamed of themselves.
Is this a single individual also a Liberian?
Well, I don't know whether you're Liberian. I've seen a Liberian community. Being a Liberian is a different thing. To be a Liberian means you must be a Liberian citizen. And all your parents might have been born in the country. If all your parents are not born in Liberia, if you turn 18, you have to go to the court to be a Liberian. So anybody can say because they have a Liberian accent, mean that. So I don't know, but I know, one thing I know, he's not a member of the OLM. He have no application, he have not paid any meeting due. And according to 1986 Constitution on a membership, for you to be a member, first you must be a Liberian. And beyond being a Liberian, you must be a due paying, you must fill out application. I check OLM document, have not seen any of those.
Well, have you made any representation? Have you called up the advocates to check on, or have you made any representation to them about the activities of this individual or their lawyers or the situation or anything like that?
Well, I have to speak to the chairman of the board, but I thought it was important as acting president first to inform the Liberian people of the behavior of the Minnesota Advocacy, their intervention in this case, their role they are playing in the case, in facilitating their employee to destroy the fabric of the Liberian community in Minnesota. So I will talk to the chairman, and we made a strong representation to some of the board members and the Minnesota advocacy, and then we'll proceed from there. But as far as we have gotten our lawyer has made a representation to the court, and we will proceed from that from there.
Okay, what's the next step now for the community?
Well, the next step is as soon as I receive the document from the election commission, will be announcing when the board election will be held. As you know, the new constitution, we have a governing board of 9 persons, so we'll be proceeding. And court case, that would be tragic. Our lawyer is there, Mr. Bill Luvo is very good, a brilliant lawyer. We handle the issue, we take care of it. We don't worry about few, individual. Look, people have to understand, and I don't want to lecture people here. Election have consequence. Whether elected or not, Mr. Dwayne won decisively. He had a platform, and Mr. Dwayne is implementing a platform. What is shameful is, everybody during the electoral process, all of the presidential candidates, said that we were going to change the constitution. That have come to pass. Lick your wound and go. But you can't keep wrangling, the deceptive, cheap attitude of just want to fight because you want to fight. That's shameful. We have to proceed.
Now, about I understand that the hall, the Liberian Community Hall works in process. What can you say about the hall?
Oh, well, we should have closed on the hall on the 24th, but what happened was that HUB, the government agency responsible, have to take over 72 hours to make the disbursement of the money. And so, as I was coming, I was on the phone. We set Tuesday for the date. As soon as the money is into our account, we'll proceed with the closing. We had a property sale. We're just waiting for the government agency to make the disbursement. Everything that is asked of us have been done, and we are proceeding. But I can tell you in the next couple of days, you will be with us at the center celebrating another milestone in the history of this community. Mr. Dwayne came to power and said you were going to change the community. We are proceeding according to our pledge to the people, and we are doing that. We are done with the constitutional issue. We're going to move the Liberian Police Community Hall, and then we have the election, and then we turn over. We have to. No, what we done used to is, there are people, there are revolutionaries who make changes, and the changes are needed, and we are making the changes gradually, smartly, prudently. And those who always lack, predated, post-rational, those people will remain crying. We have to make progress. The community have to be a dynamic. Progressive have to make progress. We don't have to deal with the people who don't understand, who think it just have to be the same. They are lack in that mode. We are beyond that. We have to move forward. And those who don't understand, just follow, keep watching. You will be in our room soon.
Thank you, Mr. Barty.
Thank you very much.